Hi guys, it's Mary. Today I thought I'd film a book haul because the last book haul that I filmed, I'm pretty sure it was more than a year ago, and I think it was the Edinburgh book haul. And since then, I have acquired a lot of books, as you can imagine. Book moth is real. Sorry if you can hear shouting, my kids are outside. Let's just try and ignore them. It's very hot. I have my windows open. And yeah, so as I was saying, I have acquired many books, but I'm not going to talk about all of them. I used to be super precise about all the books that entered my house. I really wanted to talk about them on my channel, make a video about them, record them, in some way, even though I have my logs, apps, everything to keep track of them. But yeah, that was not possible because I was not filming books, and then they got mixed up and I didn't know which ones I had acquired, and some of them I read, of course. So yeah, let's just talk about the books that I acquired in the last few months and that I did not already mention on my channel because maybe I already read them. So yeah, in no particular order, as I have them stacked here. We have Love Marriage by Monica Ali, and I heard multiple people on BookTube talk about this book. It sounds great. I don't really, well, what made me purchase this book is that it was, it had a discount. So sometimes I check my lists, and when there's a discount, I grab the book because I know that I want to read it eventually. So this one was, was one of them, and it's very chunky. It's supposed to be like a family drama, and yeah, so a family drama, but also some sort of romance because of the marriage aspect of it. There's two people that want to get married, and this is a love marriage, as in India, you have different types of marriages, right? There's the love marriage, with people choose who to get married to, and then there's the arranged marriage, and this is just about love marriage. And yeah, I don't want to know more about this. I'm pretty sure I've already said this in other hauls, but I tend to not want to know a lot about the books that I'm getting, just because I want to trust my instincts of what made me want to read them the first time I did put them on my list. And I don't want to remember every detail because I want to be surprised. I don't want to get spoiled, so I never reread like the blurbs and such. So possibly that makes a lousy book haul video, but for me it's a great method, and I just want to talk to you about the books that I'm excited to be reading and that are sitting on my shelves. So I'll also try to record what I'm getting a bit more often now that I seem to be able to film. So yeah, Love Marriage. Then we have The Tidal Zone by Sarah Moss. And this book, again, I don't remember what exactly inspired me to get it because I did purchase this like a week ago, so it's very new to my collection. I previously read Sarah Moss last year, and I read Ghost Wall. Really enjoyed that one. The only complaint basically that I had is that it was too short for my taste. So I thought the story was not as developed as it could have been in a longer format. So I think I have high hopes for this one because it's longer. And also I remember this book talked about on BookTube a lot the year that it came out. It was on a lot of people's favorite list, favorites of the year. And so, yeah, I really am curious to check. I really want to have options when I think about, I want to read a book by an author that I've already read and loved. So I want to have one more at least, of that author. So this is my next Sarah Moss pick. And I remember I was confusing this book with The Unseen World when I first read The Unseen World. But this one is the book about a girl that has a heart problem. I think I remember this correctly now, and possibly the relationship between her and one of her parents, maybe her father, I'm not sure. But again, I have high hopes. I love her writing style, so I'm sure that in a longer format it's gonna work even better. Then we have the Ripley series by Patricia Highsmith, because I read The Talented Mr. Ripley by her a couple of months ago now, and I really enjoyed it. I love her writing style. I discovered her when I read Deepwater with the book club that Mercedes has on Patreon. And I really love her writing style. I think Patricia Highsmith was such an interesting person. And she has a very interesting writing style. I think it's very immersive. I really get into the character's mind, but also the plot and the landscapes. She's very good at describing situations and places. And I think it's a rare quality to me. And yeah, it flows very well. Her stories flow very well. So yeah, I read Mr. Ripley and I liked it. Sorry, my cat jumped on the table and upset all my setup. Anyway, I was saying, so I really loved it, but at the same time, I sort of was a bit spoiled by the fact that I knew that there were other 4 books on the in the series. So obviously, I thought this, because Mr. Ripley is a young man that is involved in sort of murky affairs. You're following his point of view throughout the books and his sort of adventures, and as he does things that are against the law. So the only, like, one of the main themes is he gonna get caught? And of course, you know, it's not gonna get caught, at least for, 4 books, because there's 4 books about him. So I sort of was a bit spoiled when I was reading it, because I knew that there was a series. So yeah, anyway, I want to read the series, and I got the other 4 books. The second one is Ripley Underground, and I finished this book yesterday. So I'm gonna talk about this in my wrap up. But yeah, as I said, it follows Ripley in his adventures around the world. I would say more around Europe, even though he's from the US. It's set, like, the first book is set in Italy. This one is set mainly in France, but then, around Europe, I would say. So yeah, this one. Then we have Ripley's Game, also by Patricia Highsmith, which I don't know anything about. I'm gonna start soon though, because the second one finished in an unfinished way. While the first one had some sort of closure, I think, the second one did not. It was really like, okay, let's get the next one to see what happens and how this situation is going to resolve. So this one I'm gonna pick up next. Then we have The Boy Who Followed Ripley, also by Patricia Highsmith, which again, I cannot read a blurb, but I don't wanna know anything. I don't wanna spoil myself. And the last book in the series, which is Ripley Underwater. So yeah, I'm excited to get to all of these, even though I can already say that the second one I did not like as much as the first one. So I don't know about, all of these books. I'm sure I want to read them. I'm very good at DNFing, but I really like Patricia Highsmith. And I just want to, I want to know what happens. I want to know how this resolves. And I'm also very curious to check out books. Like, for example, I want to read Carol by her, which I got reminded of by Natalie over a curious reader, because I forgot that she wrote that one too, Carol, or The Price of Salt. That's how it was published as, but I cannot find a copy, a cheap one. I need to keep digging, because I'm very curious about that one, because it's the point of view of a woman, finally. I'm pretty sure it involves 2 women. So all the Patricia Highsmith books that I read are about men, mostly about men. Not only the protagonists are men, but the story really revolves around them. There are a couple of female characters here and there, but the main focus is on men. So yeah, very curious about that one. Then we have Father of the Rain by Lily King. And I've heard Mercedes talk about this. Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings. Jesus Lord, I don't know what happened there. This again is about the relationship between a a young woman and her father. She's an adult, and she's going to go through her childhood, possibly her trauma. I don't know, it sounds very promising. I love books that are exploring, how a childhood trauma impacts on someone's adult life. So yeah, high hopes for this one. Is very chunky, and yeah, sounds very good. Then we have also the next book that we're gonna read with the book club, again on Mercy's Patreon, which is How Green Was My Valley by Richard Llewelyn. And I'm a bit anxious about this one, to be honest. I'm very glad that we picked this, because it's been on my TBR since probably 2015, when I joined BookTube. When I first joined BookTube, I did put a lot of books on my TBR that I wasn't really paying attention to the content of the book, but more to the feeling of the people that were reading it, and how I would let myself get influenced by their reactions to the books. So I sort of lost track of what I really enjoyed reading. And this one, it sounds like a book that I could enjoy, but again, but also it sounds very dense, very slow, and I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Pages are very thin, the type is very narrow. I hope I'm going to like this one. Again, it's been on my TBR forever, so it's about time that I tried it. Then we have The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And if you are not new to my channel, you know that I'm reading this book every year. It's been 7 years now, I think 7 or 8. And yeah, I love this book. It's a cozy end of the summer book for me. And I decided, I think the 3rd year that I was reading it, that I wanted to purchase a new edition every year. Just for funsies. I don't have multiple editions of books, of any books. But this one, I don't know, it sounded like, a fun thing to do. And this year I purchased a used secondhand book that is from 86, I believe. Yeah, yes, 1986. So pretty old. But it's in very good condition. Just the pages are a bit yellow, but I don't mind. I don't mind used books. And yeah, I'm gonna read this copy of the book at the end of August, early September possibly. So yeah, looking forward to this one. Next, we have a book. Next we have a couple of books about chickens, because the chicken obsession is still real. I now own 3 chickens, and we're gonna have more. We're expecting more chickens in the autumn. So of course, since I also own them now, I want to know more about them, and I always like to dig deep in something that I like. So yeah, so this one is the Collins Backyard Chicken Keeper's Bible, which is a very chunky book. Very big, and it was very cheap, so I'm very happy that I found this, because usually it's expensive, but I found it for very cheap, and it's very beautiful, also useful. But it's about, there's lots of beautiful pictures, there's lots of breeds. It talks about different breeds, and also different all the information for raising chickens, basically. But it's mostly about, it's mostly, I would say, a collector's sort of book. Even though it has a lot of information, there's also chickens in art and film. It's very lovely. I really like it. I'm currently reading it, and I'm also currently reading another one which is a bit more useful on the practical side, which is the Chicken Chick's Guide to Backyard Chickens. This one, I thought when it arrived, oh no, it's a bit short, but actually it's very compact and very well researched and written, so I'm finding it very useful. This one has also beautiful pictures, by the way. Wait, I want to try and find a meaningful one. What a lovely coop. So yeah, I'm really finding this one useful, and yeah, so this is it for this book haul. I'm obviously going to purchase more books about chickens, I'm sure of it. But this is it for today. So let me know if you read any of the books that I mentioned, if you love chickens too. And please talk to me in the comments down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!